Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Collard Valley Cooks. And today we're making a Hershey's pound cake with Hershey's chocolate bars. And boy, is it moist and delicious. Let's get started. Today's recipe is out of the Best of Country Cooking, and this was submitted by Ann Perry of Sierra Vista, Arizona. It is called a chocolate pound cake, but I'm going to call it a chocolate bar pound cake because I've never made a pound cake with just chocolate bars, and that's how you make it, so I think that should be in the name. All right, we're going to get started. It's great to have everybody with us today, and we thank you so much for watching. Okay, today we're using my favorite chocolate bar, and that's Hershey's. You're supposed to use 8 1.5 ounce Hershey bars, which are the regular size. But instead of buying it that way, I bought it in larger bars so that it would be a little cheaper per ounce. You're supposed to use 12.4 ounces. That's what 8 chocolate bars would add up to. This is 7.56 ounces, and I measured to see how many squares I needed out of this one, and it's pretty much 15 squares. So we're going to cut this one off right at the 15 squares. There's 5 in a row, 5, 10, 15. And that with this chocolate bar will be the amount of chocolate that we need to melt. So we're just going to take our knife and chop this up really good before we melt it. And you can melt it in a double boiler. You can melt it in a bowl over some boiling water, or you can melt it in the microwave, which is what I'm going to do. But if you go ahead and chop it, it won't take it as long to melt. Y'all tell me what your favorite chocolate bar is. Who makes your favorite chocolate bar? Mine has always been Hershey's, and I love Hershey's Cocoa as well. Now I'm going to chop up all my chocolate just like that, and we're going to get it in a bowl and get it in the microwave to melt. All right, I know some of y'all are going to ask me, can I substitute these chocolate bars with chocolate chips? And if you were to do that, I would think you would have to use the Hershey's chocolate chips. And you need to have about 12.4 ounces. It don't have to be exact, but really close. If you choose to use the Hershey's milk chocolate chips, I can't guarantee that it's the same kind of chocolate. Absolutely guarantee. So if you want to make this cake, you might be better off buying the bigger bars of chocolate like I did and chopping it up and melting it yourself. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of water when you melt your chocolate. So your chocolate and your water, a half cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar. The recipe called for 4 large eggs. I'm going to use 6 large eggs because this is a pound cake. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 1/2 cups of cake flour, or I'm using White Lily all-purpose flour. You're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of buttermilk. And it's optional, and that's a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. I am not going to melt my chocolate until it's time to put it in the mixer, because if you melt it prior to that, it will harden back up, and you don't want it to before you add it to your cake mix. After you add flour to a cake mix, you shouldn't beat it over 2 minutes, and it starts to react. The flour starts to react with the gluten. So you need to go ahead and put your chocolate in first, of course, before you add your flour. And that means I have plenty of time to melt my chocolate after I beat up the butter and the sugar and add the eggs. Just as long as you don't try to do it after you've added flour, you'll be fine. So we're going to start with a 1/2 cup of butter. Now, typically you would use more butter than this in a cake mix, but there is oils in the chocolate that we're using. So that's where the rest of the oil will come in. So that's a half cup of butter and 2 cups of sugar. These are half cup scoops, so I'll use 4 of these. All right, we're going to mix this up. We're going to add our eggs one at a time. We're going to add our vanilla. And now it's time to melt our chocolate. All right, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of water to this chocolate and get it in the microwave. You're going to start it out, of course, on a low temperature. I do have a melt chocolate button, and if you do have one, I suggest you use it. When it goes off, I'll stir it really good, and I'll continue that process until it's melted. This put my microwave on like 1 minute and 40 seconds, but it's not a high temperature. It's a melt setting. All right, I'm going to let y'all see this chocolate. It just came out of the microwave. We're going to stir it. It's absolutely perfect. That microwave did a great job on chocolate. It was just melt chocolate setting. So I'm going to mix this water in there with it. It says it'll harden quick. Ooh, it really is. So we're going to get it in here with our mix. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the mixer on because these eggs are in here. I think it hardened because of the water that was put in it, but that's what the recipe says to do, so that's what I did. It got up here on my beater, so I got to get it off. And all down in the cake. All right. We're going to let that mix for a minute. I'm going to add the salt. It's a half teaspoon. A 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, all we got left is to add our flour and buttermilk. This is a very runny chocolate cake batter, so it ought to be nice and moist when we get it out of the oven. I am going to spray my bundt pan, and this is going to bake for 1.5 hours, which is a long time. And I love to spray a bundt pan because it gets in all the cracks and stuff better than me doing it by hand. But you can do it by hand if that's what you want to do. Just do a really good job. Now this is a 12-cup bundt pan. I'm not sure how high this is going to rise, but we'll know once it's done. I think it might fit in a 10-cup one if you have a 10-cup. This looks like it's about 3/4 full, so it may take a 12-cup pan. All right, y'all, let's get this in the oven. It's going to bake at 325 degrees for an hour and a half. Can't wait to get it out of the oven and show you how pretty it is and taste it. All right, it's been an hour and a half. I didn't even check it at an hour, so I need to check it now to make sure. It's ready. Oh, it's pretty. It filled that 12-cup pan up pretty good. So I'm not sure if it would fit in a 10-cup pan or not, y'all. So you might need a 12-cup bundt pan for this one. It looks like it to me. So we're going to let it sit out for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to flip it upside down. All right, it's time to flip it upside down, and we are not using the glaze today with all these chocolate bars. We are just going to dust it with a little powdered sugar. There it is. My pan has got to where it sticks a little bit. It's kind of getting old and doesn't do the best job. I may have to get me a new one. I think somebody might have scrubbed this with something they weren't supposed to. So we're just going to put a little powdered sugar on it, and then I'm going to slice us a piece. And you could always serve it with a little whipping cream as well. And there you have it, our delicious Hershey's chocolate pound cake. Y'all ready to give it a slice? We're going to slice us a piece of this cake. It is still warm or really hot, to tell you the truth. We're hoping it's super moist and delicious, and it looks like it's going to be. Oh, yeah. You can tell by the crumb of it. It looks like a pound cake, but it's going to be very moist. It almost looks puddingy in a way. Oh, my goodness. That is a moist and delicious pound cake. Wow. If you don't have a good moist pound cake recipe that's homemade, this is absolutely delicious. I mean, delicious. So, Hershey's did it again. And I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we're going to enjoy eating this cake. We thank you so much for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. We love you, and we'll see you next time.